going live. I'm live. It's Saturday, February 28th, the last day of Black History Month. And I found some more biographies by Frederick Douglass. I'm not going to read it right now. I'm just going to talk about what I found. But what was my title? What were my updates? I was going to do what's in my YouTube timeline, update about Cassie, because the other night when I was reading the final chapters of um, Frederick Douglass's narrative, um, she was doing some stuff, and then I started thinking, well, maybe she's not feeling good, and but everything was fine. Well, however, yesterday about 5:30 in the morning, she got sick, and she was sick all day yesterday. I mean, she's 12 and a half years old, um, and she's never had. She hasn't had an accident in the house for 12 of those years. I got her when she was 7 months old. She had a little bit trouble with the housebreaking stuff, just because where she came from, but she quickly picked that up, and she's never had an accident since then. But I had thankfully put down some of the big. I went to Ollie's and got some big pee pads because she was getting sick, so I covered stuff up. So, but I don't know what happened. If maybe she stepped in something, maybe she picked something up because she's doing what Zeus used to do, pick things up, you know, off the ground and eat them. But it could have been, she eats everything that I eat, um, as long as it's healthy for dogs. So she'll eat, fresh vegetables, fresh spinach, which she never liked, and Zeus loved, and now she loves it. So that's how I know Zeus is around here. But and she'll eat like eggs, and I make this egg banana oatmeal mix pancake like, and so that was one of the last things that she ate, along with some eggs. So I don't know if um, maybe something in that. I don't know, because she's eaten it before and didn't have any trouble. Also, her medication. Um, I usually split her medication up throughout the day, and I was late on one of the doses, and they were kind of close together, so that could have done it. But anyway, it got a little scary there, but she's much better now. I got her on some pumpkin and white rice, the basmati um, white rice, not the regular plain white rice. There's less arsenic and all that other stuff in the basmati. So, some pumpkin, 100% pumpkin, and rice. Started off with the last night, and then today chicken and rice, and then I'll just gradually get her back into her regular diet, which is green beans. I mean, she eats. Um, I mix it in with the Blue Buffalo kibble, just to make sure I'm not missing any nutrients. But however, we know that all the crap, that's how overly processed that is. But they do have what is it, gluconum? They do have the glucosamine or whatever, that's good for their joints and stuff. So they do have the protein that they insert. They strip everything and then they put all this stuff in there. So because she needs to have some of those nutrients. And let me look what's in there. And the thing is that I don't want to deprive her of that, even though it's processed food. But she gets a lot of fresh food, bananas. She's heard me pull out her food. My sister, she now if I have to cut off here earlier, if she has to go, I might have to, but she's good right now. My sister does all fresh food with her dog Lacey, but it's super expensive, and unlike my sister, I don't have that much money, but I'm able to give her, a good healthy diet. So I don't know what went wrong. I keep thinking that it might have been the medication that I put it too close together, so it maybe upset her system. But let's see, what is so the blue buffalo. Let me just see something because there's something in there. Oh, here it is, right here. The chicken. It has good ingredients in it, but it's processed. And something just came out recently about, yeah, glucosamine. The protein. We want to make sure she gets plenty of protein. But she gets the protein when I give her eggs, but I want to make sure that it's balanced. So I'm not really that educated on, um, I don't want her to miss out on stuff because she is 12 and a half years old. So, I guess I could, but I know it's very expensive and I don't have a lot of money. And so we eat the same, like whatever I can afford. I eat as healthy as minimal processed foods as possible, just like with her. So we eat the same. Um, but yeah, whatever happened, but she's okay now. Um, she didn't lose her app. She wanted to eat, but it was bad. So we had to lift the food for a number of hours. And then I also made her, I found out that you can give them tea. I'm an avid tea drinker. And I made her, I get fresh ginger and then I chop it up and I freeze it because if I get, if I forget to eat it, then it goes moldy, so I try to preserve it. So I made a ginger, I boiled, I cleaned it up, peeled it, and I boiled it and steeped it, and then I used I strained it, and I put a little honey. Is good for them too. Everything in moderation. And I get this honey here, the honey in the rough, and I put a little bit of honey in it, and then I refrigerated it, and then I put a teaspoon in her water, like not all day long, but just a teaspoon of that. And then today, I put a teaspoon of it in her water. Uh, you can't go over top with it, and then also you can't go over top with the pumpkin because it'll do the opposite. So about a tablespoon um, worth of pumpkin today for her weight. And she's looking at me, so I might have to cut out and then come back. But um, what else? Oh yeah, chamomile. I did not know you could give them chamomile because the medication she's on is the trazodone for her anxiety, and so I found out that they can have chamomile. So like even like a half a cup a day. So once her stomach settles down, I haven't given her any of her medication. I really tried to wean her off at one point, but her anxiety was too her separation anxiety and her regular anxiety was too much. So I did cut her dosage back some. So we'll see. She seems fine. She hasn't had medication for this is the second day. So, but I got plain chamomile, and I might try the chamomile because I drink chamomile every night before I go to bed. So I may try a little bit of chamomile in her water and see how she does. So we can have tea together. In England, I follow this couple. Unadventurous Mandy out of North England, I think it is, and her husband, John, Gadget John, and they have two separate channels. Do they have a channel together? I forget, but they have two separate channels. They have and they're nomads, and they have, they have vans and RVs and travel travel everywhere. And so they had just got adopted two Spaniards. They lost their Spaniard a couple of years ago, and they adopted two Spaniards, and they're bred to hunt. And the two of them, it turns out that it was either father, son, or brothers. And turns out that they weren't very good at their job, so then they put them out to the farm. So they adopted them, and so during her video, she would say, "Okay, it's time for Murphy's tea," and I'm like, "Oh, they give their." I know the reason I drink a lot of tea is my grandmother, who was English, from my great grandfather was from London, England, and me and her drank tea together all the time, and um, so I just assumed that she was actually giving her dog tea. And so I made a comment, what kind of tea does she give her? And what it is in Northern England or up north, they call tea is their meal. So um, so I was like, oh, okay. Learn something new every day. My grandmother would say her little English sayings when we were growing up. Bloody is a bad word, and she never really cursed, um, you know, f bombs or any. She never cursed, but she would say bloody because she knew nobody understood here that was actually a curse word. So she would say bloody a lot, and she would say little English little sayings and stuff. Anyway, so Cassie's doing better. We still have the little pads laying around just in case something happens. She's up. She's up and about. You okay? So I'm like I said, I might have to run off. Anyway, so what was up? What was else was on my title? It was what's in my YouTube timeline. Let's do this one here. So I watched a little bit of Down the Rabbit Hole news and talking about the Nancy Guthrie case that all the media pretty much cleared out because, like they said, and I don't understand why they were shocked. Some of the people that I follow, I'm not subscribed to JLR, but I do watch. I've been watching him live stream and Brian Enton, and then there's like some other streamers that he made friends with, JLR 857 Phoenix, and Dad Online. I forget what it was. Another streamer, a couple of streamers that he met and he's hanging out with. And Brian Enton's or JLR is the one of them, read a note at the beginning of last week saying they're going to come and they're going to set up the street to be a one-way street and to control the traffic and all the parking and everybody for a mile down the road, all the media. And I forget which one said, was reading this kind of press release, and it's pretty much said we're going to clear out that street because we're going to do some more searches, and that was BS. It was just they wanted to clear the media out, and so when they put the cones up, then the media parked behind the cone, so they had that whole section. So now it's a one-way street. They had that whole section to park their cars. But the problem was is they were running generators. They had those big hot lights on, which is it's a no light zone for stargazing. They were leaving it, mostly the legacy media. They were leaving trash behind, and then here comes the crazies because now they're there for almost a month and the Looney Tunes, the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs people are coming out, uh, singing and digging and doing a photo shoot with the butt cheeks hanging out. All kinds of stuff is happening now, and that's usually what happens. Looney Tunes start coming out. So they put the cones out, and then they put up no trespassing signs in front of Nancy's house, and then people were coming out. The gardener was coming out, or the landscaper was coming out, taking care of the interior plants. And then some FBI came, and some of the detectives came, and they were doing like going through the house. So Brian Enton was thinking, okay, they're gonna release the house back to the family, and then a car came, an SUV came and went right into the garage, and nobody knew who came out. It was probably the family, probably getting some personal belongings, personal papers, financial papers, or whatever, gathering stuff. Uh, and then security system was installed. I bet they just are just kicking themselves that she didn't have a better security system. They're just probably, ugh. But they installed, I think they reinstalled the floodlights. Um, what else did they do? They have a broken sprinkler, and JLR keeps talking about it, and I don't know if they ever fixed it because it just shoots up over the house. Uh, so what else? There was a couple of other things that they did. Oh, the cable people came out. I don't know if that was part of the whole security system. And I was like, they're gearing up to kick all the media out, like kick them out. And Brian Ensign and JLR, they just thought, oh, they just made parking spaces for us. And I'm thinking, no, you even said it. They're going to like clear the area out. And sure enough, within the next few days, the notice came out that no parking, no cars can be parked there. That if you park there, you're going to get a $250 fine. So no parking. And so now they're all scrambling. What are we going to do? We're going to, oh, maybe we can talk to the neighbors. Cassie, Cassie, Cassie. Maybe we could talk to the neighbors, and the neighbors will let us park there because they have become friends with the neighbors. If they can let us park at their house and then sit in front of Nancy's house because they felt like something was going to break, and that's why they were trying to get rid of everybody. And not the only person, the only media I know that allowed that was for Brian Ensign, but it was still like a mile away. So everybody made arrangements to get dropped off. Well, the few people who once the deadline was the 26th. So once everybody cleared out, people left their tents there. And then a couple of the night crawlers that streamed at night saw, I think that they were going to start, like, the authorities were going to take the tents, that they picked up the tents and saved it from what I caught on JLR's channel. So they released the home. Yeah, so JLR parked somewhere and walked a mile down. They were going to make arrangements with Uber and all this other stuff, but they ended up having to kind of walk down and carry some of their equipment or get it dropped off. So there were a few people left streaming, and then cuckoo birds who showed up, and then they released the home back to the family. And so there's no cop there, but nobody can park there indefinitely. They didn't give a deadline. And so pretty much no activity, like really no activity, no police activity or anything. So today I caught a little bit of JLR's channel, and he was there in the morning, and he's like, nothing's happening here. I'm not going back to Florida, but I'm probably not going to stream from her house anymore because I'm the only one there, and it'll seem kind of weird, just me sitting there streaming. Not that he ever really cared about appearances, that I thought. But anyway, so then they made plans to kind of go around town and go see some sites or some areas that maybe that should be searched for Nancy. I didn't watch from there because I was taking care of Cassie and I was watching other channels. So I'll have to go back and see if they found anything. But they all took off from there, and they met up at the Starbucks and CVS parking lot and rode out together. But there's no updates on the case. The other thing that's coming out is that Savannah is going to go back to work, and people were saying like the NBC is demanding that she comes back to the Today Show. Chanel Jones, sadly, her young husband was stricken with cancer and he passed away. She was gone for 9 months, and they gave her all the time in the world to, to grieve and take care of her young children and, do all that. And whenever she was ready. So 9 months she was gone. And she's part of the team there at NBC today. I mean, I know maybe Savannah's a little bit more higher up there, but still, they're not going to force her to come back. If she comes back, she's coming back because she wants to come back, not because they're giving her an ultimatum. Hoda's there right now. filling in for her. I don't watch the shows anymore. I mean, I wasn't an avid watcher of it, but I would catch, here and there. But yeah, people are saying she has to go back. She doesn't have to go back. She could go back when she's good and ready. And plus the fact that her life is in New York. Her young kids there, her husband, her whole life is there. So it's tough. I mean, I can't even imagine. So the other update is the $1 million reward for anything helping to locate her mother. And she said in her last Insta that, they're coming to terms that she's probably no longer with them. Oh, let me turn these lights off back here because it's like hot, hot lights. I meant to do that. There we go. So it's not so, even that, like that right there, the light there is such a hot light. Anyway, so so the $1 million reward, and then the words out is that they wanted to offer that reward. Um, they wanted to offer that reward right out the gate, but the authorities said it wouldn't be a good plan because then it would be, overwhelm the system. But who knows? I mean, people speculate because word isn't really coming out what's going on in the background. So, $1 million reward, $500,000 to the Missing and Exploited Children Network, Missing Children Network, which was very kind of the family to do that. And I think they're wrapping everything up. Her brother Cameron, he's lives in Vermont, so the only sibling there is Annie and her husband Tommaso and their child. So it's going to be tough for them because when their brother and sister when her brother and sister leaves, and she's like alone there dealing with it. So it's going to be tough. And then plus people are still saying it's the son-in-law, and you know my feeling was it was somebody really close to her, and that's usually the case in situations like this. That's somebody really really close, whether it's a relative, a grandchild, or a caretaker. uh, so that would be like the most obvious. But when Ashley Banfield just dropped that bomb, that that the prime suspect was the son-in-law, you ruin somebody's life. And she goes on that Savannah is like her you know bestest friend. She's an a-hole. She's a mean girl. But anyway, so it's apparently nothing's come of that. So whoever gave her that tip was incorrect. I mean, things can change. But also they're looking at, and I kind of looked at the one of the band members, Dominic Evans, because he does kind of resemble the person a little bit in the balaclava, and he's in the band. So then that would tie. You look at it and you think, I mean, anything's possible. Well, he came out saying, and then they're digging up all this criminal history of him, that he's a burglar and a fraudster and embezzler and all this criminal history. And then an article came out that him and his wife talked about that he's a teacher too. Like Tommaso and Dominic, they're teachers and grade school teachers. So there's a high like security level to be a teacher. So if he had all this kind of background, he wouldn't be able to be in the school system. So he said that the only record he had is like, I guess in his college days, he got drunk and he hit something or whatever in a bar. Um, but I don't know where they're getting this other record from, that he's a burglar and an embezzler and all this. I don't know. Maybe they got the wrong Dominic Evans. So he said it destroyed our lives. Um, we're in constant fear. They had to leave. They sent their child or children to the grandparents to keep them out of harm's way, and then they were kind of in hiding. But now it seems like it's kind of lessening, and so he's back out, and the school supports him and everything. But then now they're starting to stir it up again. So I don't know, like you're victimizing victims if that, they could be victims. And so you're potentially, you just never know. You just never know. But the resources are kind of backing off of that case, and they're focusing on or refocusing on, it sounds like, the original detectives. FBI pretty much left and went back to headquarters in Phoenix. I'm sure they're still following up on the 50,000 tips they got, and more. And the $1 million reward is cash. Like, if you if you turn in information that leads to finding Nancy, past or still alive, which would be a miracle upon miracles, which has happened in several cases, uh, then you get a PIN number and you go to wherever, and a post office, and they give you cash. How are you going to, like, that would be terrifying, $1 million in cash. You're going to pick up a suitcase, and, like, is that not going to be obvious? Like, are the post office workers not going to talk about that? I mean, that's like really kind of strange. I don't know how they would do that. I guess it's tax free, anonymous, um, all kinds of crazy things. And on Surviving the Survivor, Phil, he always has the guests. Scott and Phil both retire. LE, I think Scott is FBI. And Phil, he said it is that you cannot find out who these tipsters are. The detectives, nobody can find out who they are. So it is truly anonymous. So if that's the case, that might, I mean, it's been a few days and nobody's come forward for $1 million. So that kind of speaks volumes to me, that it just was some sole predator who was casing out her house and casing her out, as a single elderly female, and just for whatever nefarious reasons. And somebody made a point: why take her then? Why make her leave the house or take her if she passed? Because DNA, like, that person might have been like super careful and didn't get any DNA, but the DNA might be on her. Maybe she scratched him, so the only alternative was to take her away. And that makes sense to me. So, that Occam's razor, the simplest explanation usually is what it is. So it's sad, and there's such a vast land out there to bring somebody to, that could never be found, and usually found accidentally by a hiker or looking for someone else or whatever. So I think that's what JLR and 857 and Dad's Gone, Dad Online, I forget the name of it, went to search some areas, kind of like casually search some areas that she could potentially be in. So, but it is, um, Dad Gone Live. It's really sad. I mean, and they've coming. The family apparently is coming to terms with that she may not be around any longer, and they're asking to stop torturing them and just bring her home. So that is Nancy Guthrie. I was going to pull up the crime timeline.com. I can kind of look through that. But what's in my timeline? And the other thing, okay, so right out the gate here, Nancy Guthrie suspect, luck, skill, or incompetence. So this is Tier Talk, from prison to true crime. This guy is a corrections officer, a former corrections officer. So the suspect, luck, skill, or incompetence, I mean, dumb luck. But remember, it took 6 weeks to pick up Koberger. I think it was 6 weeks. So you never know what's going on. Clutch Them Pearls When You Think It Can't Get Any Stranger. Um, just talking about, I think, the characters that are starting to show up. Titanium Built. Oh, she had a live earlier, which I started watching. I didn't finish yet. The Tepe murder updates, missing Coleraine teen Nancy Guthrie, Ohio murder of Ashley Flynn, the husband, former contestant from 2013 of American Idol, apparently murdered his wife and made it out like it was a home invasion, allegedly. Yeah, Annie Elise, she's covering that American Idol murder, and she's doing Jeffrey Epstein file updates. A missing 2-year-old. I think they found the missing 2-year-old. While she slept, this is Crime Junkie. Disturbing, they stood over her while she slept. Ooh, that's creepy. Okay, that's a case that she's doing. Vinnie Politan, 2:36 a.m. Oh, that's right. There was a car on video at 2.5 miles outside. So they asked for any footage from people's Ring cameras within a 2-mile perimeter. 2.5 miles, so a half mile out of that perimeter, somebody turned in or tried to turn in a Ring camera footage of a car speeding by at 2:36, an SUV or a Kia, speeding by on the route that would most likely have been taken leaving Nancy Guthrie's house. And they tried to turn it in, and the law enforcement wasn't taking it. And then, as soon as the streamers got a hold of it, well, then they came out and took it. But that's just, I'm telling you, the explosion in the true crime genre now, where streamers are out there, and then the legacy media is picking up on that. It is exposing some of the incompetencies in these police departments. Sorry, it just is. True crime, Nerdy Addict, and Eva True Crime Trivia. Oh yeah, that was yesterday. Trivia. They have trivia Thursday and they had trivia Friday, and I missed both of them. Watching the house. Was he stalking the house? Yeah, because they think that it's two separate uh, videos of the suspect or the person who was at her camera. Something's off. Corey Richins. Did the DOJ withhold and remove information about SA investigations? Mhm. Yeah, there's some stuff. I think the main witness for the state who actually supplied the fentanyl or allegedly supplied the fentanyl is backtracking. I don't know. Something fishy's going on there. Yeah, the 2:36 a.m. car on video. Um, Grizzly True Crime. She's talking about new details, confirmed suspicions for the D4 DV's Tesla held. Darkest secrets and police initially disclosed. Yeah, I guess down the rabbit hole news. I didn't listen to it. She read some of the reports from that case, and it was really gruesome. I guess because she was dismembered and in a body bags. So I don't know what the holdup is in that case. I don't know what the holdup is. When did they find her? Didn't they find her in January of last year? When did they find her? Jeez. Um, Janice in France did a live. Reporting live from my sofa. Paul. Every contradiction found in the Corey Richins body cam transcript. Mm, the lies in print. Yeah, there was some lies that, or not lies, misstatements that I think his name that the husband's sister misstated about what Corey was doing and not doing, and they had it on a body cam, and it was all incorrect. It was all misstatements. So Annie Elise, she's doing a 10 to life on the Delphi murders. Did they get the wrong guy? I think they did. Something's fishy with that case. Don Lemon got all four nominations. He won uh, at the NAACP awards. He won. He was nominated for four awards, and he won them all. He beat out Vice President Kamala Harris, and was it no, not Vice President Kamala Harris, First Lady Michelle Obama, and somebody else. Brian Enton, his little short about it. So, it's like, unless somebody comes forward for that $1 million, or unless they have something, they everybody's cleared out. But see, law enforcement is not watching the house anymore. I mean, it's been released back to the family. So who knows if they're doing anything. Emily C. She's one of the creators for the Karen Reed case. So she got they got not her a lawyer sued to get the sidebars released because Kanoni would not release those sidebars, and now we know why because she's doing a readback. So Karen Reed sidebars series, Samantha Meningo and Loophole Lawyer. So they're going over those sidebars. Then they're actually acting them out, or just reading them out, not acting. They're reading them out. David Packman, the weakest the felon has ever been. I cannot say his name. Ugh. Earth Nation Creek Ceramics is live. I follow Earth Nation Ceramics. David Hoffman, he's a writer, a journalist. The Karen Hunter Show. Chaos is the point. Yeah, that's all in Project 2025. And here comes some Cursey Words. Here we go. I got this sticker. Keep my ground coffee in it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, which level of hell is this? Yeah, that's true. Priyanka Chopra versus Pirates in Brutal Attack the Bluff. What is that? Prime Video. I got Prime Video. I like Priyanka. Oh, wow. Oh, it's pretty brutal, but I gotta check it out. Gabulosis. She does true crime. 10 years she's been doing it, and she's pretty. She just does her true crime, and she tries to stay out of the drama. They try to pull her in the drama, But she does her stories. She advocates for the families. She fundraises for the families. She's very involved with the true crime as far as helping the families. So down the rabbit hole news, there was a 12-year-old who died hit by a metal bottle. That was so sad. What happened is there was a bully at school, and I guess she's in a charter school where they have sixth grade or fifth grade all the way up to high school, that's all in the same building. And bullies, and somebody and that person or kid threw a metal bottle at her head and killed her. Not instantly. She was in a coma and she passed. It was horrible. What a horrible story. She talked about Michael Jackson stuff. I was only paying attention because I was taking care of Cassie, so I'd have to rewatch that. I watched Veterinary Secrets. He's a veterinarian out of Canada. He's retired, I believe. So his YouTube channel is good. He does a lot of holistic. He just lost his elderly dog, and I think all his elderly pets are gone now. Um, oh, what's this? Over 250 artists showcased in Gasparilla Festival of the Arts. Where's that? Is that in Sarasota? I think so. Adventure Van Man. Oh, so Janice in France. Yeah, I haven't really looked into it. I caught a headline and a snippet about Iran, and so much for no wars. Didn't he say that in his campaign? Because he's a fat fucking liar. Cursey words. I know everyone is busy today doing errands, meeting with family, etc., etc. Please take a few moments to think about our soldiers in harm's way. Yeah, sad that he's whatever. You know, I'll look into it. I'm not ready to do that now. He's burning us all down. And we knew that. Like, I knew that. Well, I know about his family from the 70s because he affected my family. Um, but people who voted for him, he spelled it out, like even from the first time. So I don't have time. I watch Captain Steve. He's a pilot uh, for one of the main airlines. He's getting ready to go into retirement because they retire you at 65. But he has a YouTube channel where he covers crashes and stuff and, why they possibly happen. Fumes in the cockpit. Southwest 737 declares emergency after takeoff. Oh dear. So he usually talks about incidents and crashes. Simple Alpaca. He does reviews on tech. Mm, Don Lemon, they're losing control. Lemon drop. Felon State of the Union lies. New Epstein bombshells and more. Haven't watched that yet. I follow Chef Ricardo's cooking. He makes a lot of holistic things. So he mixed cloves and garlic for amazing benefits at night. Ooh, Viola Davis. What is streaming on Hulu? And I discontinued Hulu. Actually, I had a pretty good deal, but I never watched it anyway. So I was just actually throwing money away. Oh, Annalise. Oh, okay, to get How to Get Away with Murder. Okay, so I guess they're restreaming her show. Janice in France went live in case you missed it, but you can go back and watch. Okay, so I already said that. Music for the body and soul, meditation music. Kempire. I like him. He does pop culture, black pop culture news. So Mary Cosby, her son, Mary Cosby from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, her son Robert, 23 years old, died from the drug overdose. And there were some scenes that they showed. Oh, it's just heart crushing. Her only child, heart crushing. And she knew, and she was so afraid when he got arrested and put in jail for drug possession. She was glad because she knew where he was at and that he didn't have any exposure to it. But you can get drugs in jail. So, but because she said, I'm glad he's there because then I'm not worried about him dying. So it's just, oof, oof. There are people who are like avid fans of the traders. So he talked about that. I follow Pam's POV, Pam's point of view. She's got a couple of channels. She's got some good hacks and tips. Stop building bug out bags. Build this instead. Okay, I'll watch that. I got my Go bags, kind of. I watch Weather on the Go sometimes. More heavy snow is on the way. What? Is he talking about the East Coast, the West Coast? I don't know. Huge case updates. Oh, that's Titanium and Bill. Titanium and Bill. The Unexpected Gypsy. She's out of England. She's an artist. Veterinary secrets. Christina Talks. I don't follow her anymore. I don't think. I don't know why she's in my subscribe timeline. She's talks about the felon. I mean, she does have like she's mostly on TikTok, but she uploads her stuff to YouTube. Um, but I can't like do the whole political thing. It's just too much. My head will explode. Court TV. Kevin West's daughter tells dad, "You tried to use us to save yourself." Ooh, I don't know what case that is. I'll have to look at that. I follow the Cat Lady Van. She's Canadian. She's actually from Quebec. She's French Canadian, and her channel. She travels in a van, and she and Chrome Valdez. He was Van City Van Life. He's now the Chrome Project. They hang out. They were kind of dating, and then they stopped because of kind of subscribers were losing their mind. But I think they still are, but they're making like they're just. I think they're really good friends too. But she just got a new van, and she's building it out. And he just got his new van. He had experts doing it. She's doing it herself. I follow Tennessee Brando. I'm sick and tired of Jelly Roll. What is Jelly? Another MAGA grift. MAGA, maggots. Another maggot grift. So is Jelly Roll? Oh, yeah, he's all hubbub with the felon. Oh, and Netflix is not going to get Warner Brothers, Discovery, CNN, that whole thing, because the guy who, purchased CBS Paramount, he put in a bigger bid, and Netflix said, "No, we're out." So they're not buying it. So now the maggots have, and the head maggot has control of all the media pretty much, and the films and all that stuff. So now all these liberal celebrities are, just saying. But yeah, so we're officially in a fascist state or whatever. I didn't get on here to go on about that. Project Untethered, the spy trick. 9 strange tricks that stop hotel theft instantly. I don't know why I'm subscribing. I don't even know if I'm subscribed, but it must have been something that I needed a hack for. Yeah, Simply Alpaca. He mostly does Apple products. Prime Video, Best of Keith David as Husk. Okay, True Crime with the Sarge. I follow him, Retired New York NYPD. I realize that some of the people that I follow may be maggot leaning or right leaning. If I do find like proof of it, then I unfollow them because I just can't with these people. Ageless Fitness Lifestyle. She is in her 70s and she is in primo shape. Primo shape. She is a lifter. I mean, I have got to, it's just amazing the shape that she's in. So I'm following her because I think one day I'll get off my ass and do something. Delphi After Dark. This is about the Delphi case. They created their channel. Oh, Call Me Chris. She's from Canada. And she recently moved to Texas because she married an American, so they live in Texas. Texas. So I think a year ago she moved to Texas because they were two creators who met online, met through the YouTubes, and she was engaged to somebody else. I think he was with someone. Anyway, they're married. She is very talented, very funny, and very talented. She does true crime, and she also does the Reddit reads where she reads the Reddit stories. Oh my god, hysterical. Oh, so this one here. Oops, my thing. Testing wild products for lazy people. I mean, she has a mixed bag. Her main thing is true crime stories with the twist or whatever. But she does have a mixed bag. She's very talented. They just did an independent horror film. I forget the name of it. There's Janice again. The Karen Hunter Show. BAFTA's N word controversy exposes a deeper conversation we need to have. Hmm. Oh, I follow Dr. Dre. She's Dr. Dre with an A. She's a skincare. She's a dermatologist, so she, talks about skincare. And she gets Dollar Tree products. She does like skincare on a budget, which apparently I'm not following. Epic gardening. Okay. 48 hours. Greed and murder. LMN. So what is that? Lifestyle. What is? I forget the name of it. What the acronym stands for. LMN. Something network. Is it Ladies Network or I don't know, Lifestyle Network? I don't know. I forget. So what's on there? Women text home, then vanish. Oh, women, like as in plural. Women text home and then vanish. Ooh. And sometimes they'll show their full on shows, so you don't have to pay for a streaming service. Nick Lewis, so fixing six exterior mistakes, making your home look cheap. Okay, whatever. It's probably a hack I was looking for and found. Face yoga expert, your ultimate natural facelift class with micro current and facial exercise using I don't know what it says, but anyway, she's Australian, I think. Anyway, she does face yoga, and apparently, I'm not taking her advice. But I did get at if you have an Ollie's near you, you need to go check it out because they do have good deals. And I was there to get now. Typically, I would rather have a natural smelling stuff, not chemical smelling stuff. But a lot of my um, atomizers and stuff are still packed away. They're where I use my essential oils. So I did have a Glad plug-in. I did get a Airwick misting thing. So that was like lavender and sage. So I have that going. What else did I get? Oh, I have my little Glade, spray atomizers with apple cinnamon. And I was at Ollie's, and of course, everything is slashed in half. And I found this Glade full night. What is it called? Full night long scent. Oh, I'm not full night, fall night long scent. This stuff here, and like in Walmart, it's $10 for the two, and this was 4.99. Plus, I got a discount on top of it. This smell, you know how most of them they're just too chemically and too much, too strong. This smells fabulous. So much so that when I get off here, I'm going over there tonight and I'm gonna pick up a bunch of them because a lot of these stuff are like seasonal, so it's not on the shelves anymore. Um, and I'm gonna pick up another plug-in because I had two and I was using it out in the hallway here in the building, and um, somebody complained about it because it is kind of chemically, so they took it. I don't care. Um, but I'm gonna go get this. Smells because it's not chemical. It's just It's just so good. It doesn't really ever tell you. It has some scented oils in there, but that's it. It doesn't. It says fragrance infused with essential oil goodness, made without phthalates, parabens, and formaldehyde. Oh, I didn't know that it had formaldehyde in it, but no formaldehyde. So whatever's in it, it smells good. The Airwick mist, that's good. Can be overpowering, so I have it way on the other side of the house. Um, like typically, I would do candles, I would do essential oils, but again, I'm not fully unpacked, so I will be going there. And also, oh, to lead to that, I was looking for those facelift things, straps to put on your face. Also, because when you get older and you get more dehydrated and the moisture leaves your skin, you get sleep wrinkles. And that's where my wrinkles started from. Like, I'd wake up with creases in my face that never went away. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting more creases. So I, of course, got the satin pillowcase, and that was working for a while till it wasn't working for a while. Then I got a microfiber pillow, and that was working for a while until it didn't. Thankfully, I was able to return it because it got really uncomfortable. And then I got another one. This one seems to be working. And then I thought, well, what about if I put something on my face so I could pull it like Joan Crawford used to wear it. Pull my face back, and then it stays like that. You know, remember when you were kids and your parents would say, "Don't make that face; you'll stay like that." Well, they were, correct because frown lines. I smile and stuff, but I think I have a lot of like, anyway, my 11s. But I've always had those. Always thinking a lot. Anyway, so I saw it on Amazon. I'm like, and they had it at Ollie's, and I snatched it up because it was only a couple bucks. And it's a strap. You put it on your face, over your ears, and you wear it for like 30 minutes. I tried to get it on, and I couldn't. Oh, and it velcros on top of your head, um, and I couldn't get it on right. So I'll figure it out. But I'm going to try it and see if it actually works. Just to kind of, and then do the yoga lady, the face yoga. Yeah, we'll see. And then of course I have all. Yeah, if only I can commit to this stuff. Patrick Tehan. Patrick Tehan. Oh, he talks about childhood trauma. This is a video from. This is a video of mine on unfinished business. I don't embrace forgiveness, nor do I live in resentment. I believe in the work that moves us into our true selves. In the work that I do, much of it is about holding abusive parents accountable for how they were abused, how they parented, what they modeled, how they conducted themselves, how they didn't use resources, how they refused to look at themselves, how they dismissed the impact of abuse. Our present stuck places are related to all that. Yeah, he talks about. Oh, that's long. Yeah. What is this? Okay, so we got Matthew Lesko. So he talks about free money and grants and not loans and stuff. And what does he say here? He's saying 19. Oh, come on now. Let me see. 19,188 for the average American. He's saying the felon is uh, posted that on Twitter, I guess. Whatever. It's just a fucking liar. Um, if the felon is. So, boy, I got a long timeline. Adam Kinzinger. I don't think I'm subscribed to him, but I watch his little shorts because he defected from the Republican Party. Letitia Daniels speaks at sentencing. Broke my heart. Yeah, so. Ooh, let's see. Auntie Deb out of out of Boston, out of Norfolk. Uh, Karen Reed. Person. Need car repairs? There's billions in help you don't know about. Really? Matthew Lesko. Oh, I got to watch that. I mean, I don't need car repairs now, but I will. It's an old car. Do these daily. Bob and Brad. Ta- um, Taji's Kitchen. Is she the one where I got the lentils recipe from? No, somebody else. Taji's. Ooh, how to make apple rose tea. Oh no, this is Japanese. Easy Japanese home cooking recipe. Oh, that looks pretty. I'll have to watch that. I do watch Pandemonium. Pandemonium. Um, Aja. I've been following her for 15 years, 12 years. She had converted her. She had an RV that she designed herself, and now she's got some land out in the desert. She's pretty cool. POV. I mean, oh, Caroline Winkler. No relation to Henry Winkler. She does. She has ADHD too. A lot of people that I follow have ADHD. We kind of gravitate towards each other. But she does home makeovers on a budget. You know, sometimes. Neil Sedaka. That's on CBS Sunday Morning. Dr. Omikango. The Oh, I'm going to butcher your name. I am so sorry, Dr. Debinga. Dr. Debinga. He is an author, an activist, I think a professor. Easiest way to clean cast iron. Natural solutions. The way I clean my cast irons, which I keep on my stove, because as an ADHDer, I I don't know if all ADHDers are like this, but I think a lot of them are. Um, I have to have things out and visual. Um, and I like it that way. I like to see what I have so I actually use them and not go out and buy duplicates, but I still buy duplicates. But so I like having my um, stoves, like my teapot that I can't really use. I have to have the electric tea kettle because I tend to like drift off. And my Zusi, God rest his soul, he was my detector. Like if I left, like I had something cooking in the oven and I forgot because I got distracted, that before it could even get a scent of it getting done, he would alert me. I would put the tea kettle on and then go take a shower. And then he would be my, screaming at me because he was not a barker except for those things. He was my warning. So he was a service dog along with an emotional support, along with he was my baby first, my little man first, my little soulmate first. But so anyway, I have my cast iron pans up there. And what I do is, you season them, right? You could bake them in the oven, whatever coating you're going to use. For the longest time, I used the olive oil. But, just put a little coating on it and heat it up on. When I first got it, I seasoned it in the oven. But now I just rinse it off because it's like non-stick. I just rinse it off, gentle cleaning, mild soap. And then and sometimes no soap, just rinse it off because you want that seasoning, and then I'll treat it with the oil, and then I'll put it on low, and I have to stand here so I don't forget. I turn the stovetop on and just kind of bake that in there. So that's how I clean my. But now um, I've been doing it with coconut oil to season it. Um, and I just got the food grade mineral oil. to treat my wood utensils, of which now I only have two, and I would like to get some more. But this is my honey dipper, so I just treated it with the mineral oil. I was doing olive oil, but they say no, it goes rancid. Then I was doing coconut oil, and they're saying no, that could go rancid, but not the refined. I don't know. I was getting confused. So I got some mineral oil, food grade mineral oil that has a little bit of vitamin E in it as a stabilizer. So that's soaking. And I did my other wood spatula, but I am going to get some more wood. But yeah, this is my little Logan. Or Logan. And then I got my copper and ceramic. Because I would do the Teflon. I did the Teflon thing for the longest time because it was so easy to clean, but it's so bad for you. So I got to that to the point seasoned enough where it's like a nonstick surface, and then the ceramic is nonstick. So I'm sure they'll come out with something bad along that. So, so we talked about what's in my timeline. So that's enough in my timeline. Oh, the lawyer, he's following Corey Richins. Haven't watched him in a while. Oh, Jared Polin. Um, he is a photographer, and I like him. I've been following him for a long time. Jaggerbird, Native American, Indigenous, I maybe First Nation. Actually, I think First Nation out of Canada. Um, so he always talks about what's happening in tribal lands and what's going on. Um, Jay Lee painting. He does this acrylic painting. These like it's amazing what he does. He just squeezes the paint out, and then he just does all this like um, really neat and beautiful paintings, like from drips of paint, from drips of acrylic paint. Amazing. Justice Serve TV. They're following. They're actually following the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, and that's a case out of Boston. They got some real problems there with the justice system and the LE. Got some real problems. 16 Me, I've been following her. She's out of Switzerland now. I think she was in the Netherlands, but yeah, she's doing do older travelers make better travelers? Rick Steves thinks so. Yeah, so she's been kind of nomading it. Clean with Barbie. I can't watch the order stuff. David Hoffman, Wajahat Ali, Pretty Lies and Alibis, Corey Richards, TEDx Talks. Yeah, so, oops. All right, that's good for that. So let's talk about Frederick Douglass. I found, oh, should I get my other? No, I think I could do it on here real quick. So I went to Internet Archive.org and I found his other autobiographies updated. I think The Life and Times of Frederick Douglass. So where he talks about how he escaped, who helped him, and then I think he wrote that in 1857, and then uh, he added to that I think in 1892, 3 years before he passed. Let me take a look real quick. Hopefully I don't get bumped off, but I'm going to pull it up real quick. So we got, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, maybe I didn't do it on this. On this one, maybe I did do it. Oh, no. So my bondage, let me, Life and Times of Frederick Douglass. So I don't have the most current one that he did because he added some stuff in 1892. Um, and I downloaded the PDF. Come on, let's go. So this one is um, The Life and Times of Frederick Douglass, written by himself, his early life as a slave, his escape from bondage, and his complete history. So present time. So let me open that up real quick. I can't share, so I still haven't done that. So it says, including his connection with the anti slavery movement, his labors in Great Britain as well as in his own country, his experience in the conduct of an influential newspaper, his connection with the Underground Railroad, his relations with John Brown and the Harper's first ferry raid, his recruiting the 54th and 55th Massachusetts Colored Regiments, his interviews with President Lincoln and Johnson, his appointment by General Grant to accompany the Santo Domingo Commission, also to a seat in the Council of the District of Columbia, his appointment at, oh, how ironic, he ended up close by where he was born. His appointment as United States Marshal by President, oh, Rutherford B. Hayes. Oh, that's, I have to look that up. Also, his appointment by President J.A. Garfield to be Recorder of Deeds in Washington, with many other interesting and important events of his most eventful life, with an introduction by Mr. George L. Ruffin of Boston. So, Hartford, Connecticut, Park Publishing Company, um, 1882. Okay, that might be the current one because I think he wrote this. No, maybe not. What's this here? 1881. So that's when it was published. So yeah, so that, and let me open up the other one that I got. So my narrative, The Life and Times, My Bondage. Oh, here, my bondage, my freedom. So maybe My Bondage, My Freedom was in 1857. So I think The Life and Times is the most current. And this one is My Bondage and My Freedom. Part one, Life as a Slave. Part two, Life as a Freeman, by Frederick Douglass, with an introduction by Dr. James McCune Smith. Yeah, so this one was in 1855 when it actually entered according to Act of Congress in the year 1855 by Frederick Douglass in the clerk's office of the District Court of the Northern District of New York. See how formal it was? Now you can put a book, you can self-publish so easily now. But thank God for like his record keeping. But yeah, so I found those books, so I'm gonna go through them, and I may read through it, or I may read excerpts of it. I don't know. I'm gonna look at it because I am interested in how he made his escape and how he met Annie, his first wife. So I'm curious about that. But yeah, I found it. I dug around and found it. At first it was like just recordings and stuff, but and then there was no kind of marking saying that it wasn't out of expired out of copyright. So this one, the one for sure says no copyright. The other one doesn't say anything about a copyright. So I'm assuming um, yeah, and then I did looked up a little bit about how many kids he had, and then his descendants who are alive today, his great grandson. So who they head up the Frederick Douglass Institute and Foundation and all that stuff. So I'd like to dig more deep, and so I might do deep dives of it and just do, as much history as I can find and make videos about it. I don't know. I was found it really interesting. So I think that was it. Oh yeah, I was gonna pull up Crime Line. I actually crime. Let's see, new window. Crime Online, Crime Timelines, which is actually an excellent web page. Let me just drop it down, so I can. So, cold case files, missing persons. So, current. So, we have the Ashley Flynn. She was 37, was fatally shot inside her home in Ohio on February 16th, 2026. Her husband, Caleb Flynn, a former American Idol contestant, called 911 reporting a possible burglary. Investigators later determined there was no intruder and charged Caleb Flynn with murder and related offenses. Yeah, he got upgraded on charges, like charging him with a bunch of stuff. Idiots. Just get a fucking divorce, people. What is the problem? Oh, minds are just dis- diseased. Missing person, vulnerable adult, Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, female, 5'5", 150 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie was last seen at a home near Skyline Drive and Campbell Avenue in the Catalina foothills around 9:30 p.m. Saturday. During a Monday morning news conference, Sheriff Nanos sounds like Nanu, you know, with oh oh my God, my head just went blank. Um, it'll come to me anyway. During a Monday morning news conference, Sheriff Nanos described the home as a crime scene and said officials believed Nancy did not leave on her own. Sheriff Nanos believes she was taken from the home, and that includes possible kidnapping or abduction. The sheriff. So why did you release the crime scene? Like, why didn't you keep the crime scene tape up there? If you realized that soon, you took down the crime scene tape. That's just ridiculous. Spencer and Monique Tepe. Spencer and Tepe and his wife Monique. Tepe was found shot to death inside their Columbus, Ohio home on December 30th, 2025. The couple's two young children were discovered inside the residence unharmed. Authorities have classified the deaths as a double homicide and have ruled out murder suicide. Ex-husband, after being separated from her for 10 years, was arrested and no motive has been released. Anna Kepner. Anna Kepner was an 18-year-old high school senior from Titusville, Florida, who died aboard the Carnival Horizon cruise ship on November 7, 2025. Her death remains under federal investigation, and the Miami-Dade medical examiner has not released the cause or manner of death. The FBI Miami field office confirmed that agents boarded the ship when it arrived. So if you click on it, then it'll take you to the current update. So the current update is, yes, her stepbrother, 16-year-old Thomas, I think his name is, because they have released his name, has been officially charged. And they're saying that there were signs of sexual assault, and she died of strangulation or asphyxiation or the bar arm where he had her in like a headlock. So they officially charged him. Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons is a North Andover, Massachusetts police officer who gave birth in early 2025 and was later diagnosed with postpartum depression, not psychosis. Psychosis, postpartum depression. They're two different things, but they treated her like she had psychosis. In March 2025, she was involuntarily hospitalized for mental health treatment. She returned to work afterward, but her relationship and family situation deteriorated, and I could tell you why it deteriorated, leading to family court filings and the incident that brought national attention to her case. This ex fiance, Justin, I think his name is, I can tell you because something just came out with him on video with three of his buddies or four of his buddies busting open the door in her house, not his house, her house, while she was in the hospital recovering and on her deathbed from being shot in the chest by her former law enforcement partner. Shot in the chest, and she survived, thank God. While she's in there on her deathbed, so he thought, he went in there, broke in, and thankfully her father had the wherewithal to change the locks, and he is in the surveillance business. He equipped that whole house with surveillance. This man broke in with three of his goon buddies, firemen, and stole her passport, her birth certificate, all her personal documents, her health records, her bank information, stole $5,000 of her money, tried to get into her pension. They're not married, and they were separated. And him and his family were trying to get her committed to get that baby away from her. So he stole all this stuff. You okay, Cassie? Cassie? Broke in and robbed her. And the father turned in the videotape and they kind of like blew it off. Like, that is a felony what he did. Identity theft, felony, all the things. And I could tell you when I saw that video, I knew, because I am a survivor of domestic violence, that this man abused this woman. It must have been a nightmare living with him. And this poor girl, who, when they snatched that baby out of her arms, because he said that she was dangerous, and she went upstairs and took the gun to end her own life. And when she picked that gun up, she got shot right in the chest. So there was no talking, no nothing, no negotiating. He just shot her. Anyway, so there's shit happening in that case. Big time. Big time. I hope that guy gets arrested for what he did. And the other guys who followed him. He was like, I went in there for baby clothes. No, he stole all her financials, all her personal health documents, all the things. So he needs to go to prison. And the charges against her need to be dropped. Unbelievable. That's what I'm saying. Massachusetts, there's something shit going on there. Rebecca Park. Oh, this is the Rebecca Park, a 22-year-old pregnant woman was last seen on November 3rd. So this in Wexford County, Michigan. She was like 9 months pregnant, just about ready to give birth, and her remains, she went missing, and her remains were found, and it turned out it was her mother, like her biological mother. She was adopted by a woman who saved those kids from this demon. So yeah, that's another whole case. Melody Buzzard. I'm telling you, when I was on the other day, I talked about women. So the Melody Buzzard case, that poor little girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, Ellen Greenberg's case, Lily and Jack Sullivan, Sebastian Rogers, Michael Vaughn, Charlie Kirk, Austin Drummond. Oh my God, that case. Murderer Brink family. That was horrific. So many, oh my God, there's so many horrific cases. But I'm just reading the headlines from the landing page for the case files. If you click on it, if you go to crimetimeline.com, crime timelines with an s.com, then you can open that page up and it will take you to the page and it will give you all the updates. But I don't have time to go through the updates. Maybe later on I'll come on because I think Miss Cassie girl has to go OUT. It's time. It's been a few hours. Cassie, wait for mama. Cassie, wait for mama. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. I think I covered everything in my title. If I didn't, then I'll change my title of my video. I think I included everything I was going to kind of touch on. Thanks for joining me. I may pop on later on, make sure she's all settled. And after my run to Ollie's, if I get that far, because I have to get more of that scent and another Glade plugin and some more pee pads or puppy pads, just in case. I mean, she's fine, but it was rough yesterday. It was a really rough day for her, but I'm glad she's on the mend. We didn't get much sleep. All right. Well, thanks again. And talk to you soon, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. But thanks for stopping by. Oh, I always forget where it goes. Okay, there it is. All right. Bye. See you later.